و خب این کار بسیار شیانه‌ای
The
که
United
انجام
States
دادن.
will achieve nothing with its new round of economic sanctions, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said on Wednesday. On Monday, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent laid out plans for the economic warfare against Iran. Iranian leaders have dismissed the impact of such measures. Talks between Iran and the U.S. have stalled as the two sides fight over the control of the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, Tehran said on Tuesday it would not allow military vessels to transit through Hormuz under an agreement the Islamic Republic is currently negotiating with Oman.
نظامی اگر این تفاهم لازم اجرا بشود اجازه عبور از تنگه هرمز رو
نظامی متخاصم یا نظامی
هیچ شناور نظامی فقط در واقع این ناظر بر عبور شناورهای تجاری خواهد بود و این نکته بسیار مهمی هست.
He added Iran and Oman reached an understanding on a temporary commercial route. Traffic into the Persian Gulf from the Gulf of Oman would pass entirely through Iranian waters, while the outbound route would pass partly through Iranian waters and partly through Oman's territorial waters.
This is the moment when hypersonic ballistic missiles launched by Russia hit a block of flats in Kyiv. This is major damage. Many of the people who were sleeping in their apartments at that time lost their lives, and the injury count is nearly 100. Survivors remember with horror the sound of missiles and the devastating explosions. Victoria is 36 years old and says that after the July 2nd bombings, she can hardly sleep at night, especially since her son also suffered a strong shock.
Ми в цей час були з чоловіком і з сином, моєму синові 7 років. Ми були у себе в квартирі, в коридорі. У нас повибивало всі вікна, було дуже страшно. І в той момент важко було зорієнтуватися. У нас тут почалася пожежа від того, що осколок попав в трубу і почалась дуже сильна пожежа. І двері наші вхідні в під'їзд були заблоковані. І люди, які спускалися з верхніх поверхів, не могли вийти. І тоді мій чоловік відкрив наші двері з нашої квартири. І люди виходили, евакуювалися через нашу квартиру. Тобто там вибилося вікно, і через наше вікно виходили всі люди з під'їзду. Другий місяць живемо, кожну ніч ми спимо в укритті.
După aproape 2 luni, utilajele au venit să acopere craterul pe care l-a provocat racheta balistică trimisă de ruși pe 2 iulie, atunci când 30 de oameni au murit aici în Kiev.
The Russian shelling is so intense that in Kyiv you can find entire streets where almost every building is damaged. And this summer, the Russian army changed the strategy. Moscow soldiers are bombarding the Ukrainian capital, mainly with ballistic missiles and missile drones, which are hard to destroy. Even so, people find every day the strength to have a somewhat normal life and forget for a few moments about the war horrors. Mothers raise their babies, children play. At a first glance, Kyiv seems a city like any other. But when night falls, the warning alarms and explosions, like a broken clock, insist on reminding them that the Russians are attacking again for almost 5 years.
Але справляємось, що нам робити. Ми з Києва нікуди виїжджати не плануємо. Тут сім'я, тут бізнес, тут діти, тут школа, тут робота, тут все. Ходимо в укриття, готуємо дітей до школи, живемо.
European countries are among those hardest hit by additional fossil fuel costs caused by disruption in the Middle East, according to the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air. Italy faced an estimated 12.7 billion euros in extra costs between March and August, followed by the Netherlands at 11.5 billion euros, France at 10.8 billion euros, and Spain at 8.8 billion euros. Together, the four economies absorbed almost 41 billion euros in additional fossil fuel costs without importing any new energy. Globally, the crisis added more than 282 billion euros to fossil fuel import bills, without oil accounting for 140 billion euros. Diesel and petrol prices also rose by 59%. Beyond the cost shock, CREA said Europe's investment in clean energy is helping reduce its exposure. Clean power capacity installed since 2020 saved importing countries 36 billion euros in fossil fuel purchases during the first 5 months of the crisis. Spain alone saved billions, although oil-dependent transport, aviation and industry still left each person facing an additional 181 euros in fossil fuel import costs. Meanwhile, more than 100 organizations urged European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen to announce a plan to phase out fossil fuels in her State of the Union address on September 16th.
"14 newborns were killed in a fire at a major hospital in Pakistan's capital Islamabad on Wednesday. The fire broke out at around 6:45 a.m. on the third floor of the Mother and Child Health Ward at the Public Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences. The fire was apparently caused by the explosion of an air conditioning unit compressor inside the nursery. Police said the deceased was severely burned, making DNA testing necessary to confirm their identity before releasing the bodies to the families.
3 दिन से था, कैसे कह सकते हैं कि जल के बच्चे, एक बंदा और नहीं जला, एक कुछ नहीं जला, एक आदमी इनका कहता है कि हम लोग बड़े लोगों को बचा रहे थे। क्यों? बड़े लोग पाँव से चल नहीं सकते थे, तुम लोग उनको बचा रहे थे, तुम लोग बच्चे छोड़ के बच्चों को लॉक लगा के कहाँ दफा हुए थे। उसके 2 घंटे बाद यहाँ पे रेस्क्यू आई है, 4 घंटे बाद पुलिस आई है, यहाँ पे चस्के लेने आए हैं, ACDC सारे यहाँ पे चस्के लेके अंदर बाहर घूम फिर के चले गए। इनमें से किसी एक का बच्चा जला होता, मैं देखती कि ये कैसे बैठे हैं।
Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif expressed sorrow and ordered an investigation.
Massive flooding in Nepal has killed at least 98 people as mudslides and torrents of water swept through mountain valleys near the Chinese border. While rescue operations continue, hundreds of people are still missing, including over 340 foreign nationals. Witnesses reported trucks, houses and people being swept away by the floodwaters. The disaster also damaged around 430 megawatts of electricity production capacity, including hydropower and solar facilities, according to Nepal's electricity authority. Beyond the flooding, Nepal deployed helicopters and disaster response teams to the affected areas, while several highways were closed. A preliminary assessment suggested a rock ice avalanche in Nepal blocked the Land River and triggered the cascading floods. Meanwhile, Chinese state media reported major casualties and missing people at the Girong port in Tibet, but gave no figures for deaths or injuries. Authorities warned that roads in the area were at risk of further mudslides. Europe's drought has exposed fossils, shipwrecks and wartime remains along the Danube, as receding waters reveal parts of the riverbed that have been unseen for decades. In northern Bulgaria, around 20 volunteers searched a dried-up bank near Ruse after a mammoth jawbone and tusk fragments were discovered last month. The latest search found animal remains, including a horse jawbone, as well as fossilized oyster dating back around 60 to 65 million years. Beyond Bulgaria, falling water levels have exposed World War II shipwrecks in Austria and Serbia, while the remains of 2 German soldiers and a motorbike have emerged in Budapest. Further upstream in Bulgaria, archaeologists also documented foundations of a bridge more than 2 kilometers long, built under Roman Emperor Constantine I in the year 328. The discoveries come as drought intensified by human-induced climate change has driven major European rivers to exceptionally low levels, disrupting shipping and revealing historical artifacts.
The country music legend Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80. Her family announced her passing in a statement shared on social media. Parton had faced a brief battle with cancer, her publicist later wrote. The American singer, songwriter, and actress was one of the most influential figures in country music and shaped music and popular culture over a career spanning decades. She wrote hundreds of songs and was behind global hits, including Jolene, 9 to 5, and I Will Always Love You. With 55 Grammy nominations and 10 wins, Parton is the 3rd most nominated woman in Grammy history. The news of Dolly Parton's death evoked an outpouring of reactions from prominent figures across the entertainment industry and beyond. Meanwhile, fans gathered in numerous locations to pay tribute, laying flowers at her Walk of Fame star and across Tennessee. President Donald Trump also paid tribute in a post on his Truth Social account, calling her passing a loss for millions of people. The U.S. flag was lowered to half-mast outside the White House on Tuesday in honor of Parton. Archaeologists in Lima have uncovered the remains of a hospital dating back to the 16th century. The hospital treated sailors that were ill who stopped at Pacific ports when Peru was a Spanish colony.
Y hemos encontrado los vestigios de una iglesia y de un hospital que se creían desaparecidos, que es la iglesia del Espíritu Santo, que tenía como la costumbre de la época un hospital anexo donde también se enterraban las personas.
The experts located the entrance of the church where mass was held for the sick. They also discovered walls, floors and tiles, human skeletons and other artifacts.
Aparte de los hallazgos funerarios, se ha encontrado también, de por sí me parece que lo más representativo es la arquitectura misma, que conserva pues los materiales y las técnicas tradicionales, los cuales nosotros hemos restaurado. Se ha encontrado un piso de azulejos valencianos del siglo XVIII y se ha encontrado también un área con evidencia prehispánica muy interesante.
The hospital operated until shortly before 1821, when Peru's independence was proclaimed. The reasons for its closure are unknown.